This isn't even potato, it's just like...
There's no potato in there.
Today, we are eating exclusively from this book. Stick around and see what we think.
It's pretty good.
I don't love it.
What the hell?
It's really, really good.
That is not creamy, that's just mush.
It's not bad. It's just kind of bland.
That's pretty good. No.
I like the combination of everything in here.
The texture of the nut is not okay.
I like it.
So if you're into it, you're gonna like it. And if you're not, yeah, you probably won't.
What is that?
That's dinner. Greetings and welcome to or welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel, we focus on all things plant-based goodness. And today, we are doing a deep dive into how not to age, which, here's the thing. It's, you know, Dr. Michael Greger's name is in big font there, but the recipes in this book are by Robin Robertson, who many of you know as a well-known cookbook author in the plant-based space. Although how it works with books like this is Dr. Greger wrote How Not to Age, which is a book we did a video on a while back. I'll put a link in the description down below. I walked you through some of my favorite bits from it. But when you get a book like this by a guru like Greger, he aligns with somebody else like Robin, who then takes all of their principles and creates recipes around that. So that's what's happening here. And she also contributed to his previous cookbooks as well. If you haven't read How Not to Age yet, because it's a little bit dense and you just want like the dummy's guide to it, that's kind of what books like this provide as well in the front. Like they've all got the recipes, obviously, but the first couple chapters or sections of the book are almost like a really distilled version of what is happening inside of the book, at least in terms of the stuff you need for dietary. So this is probably a good place to start if you haven't read that book. And then you can add that one if you want to dive deeper. But it's great. Like he talks about, you know, anti-aging. He talks about a bunch of different ingredients, calorie restriction, protein restriction. He gets into the top anti-aging foods. He has a little Q&A in here talking about some of the ingredients in the book. Do you always have to eat organic? And then there's a great little section at the front with a lot of just great staples like an umami sauce, a vegetable broth, date syrup, which is something we'll probably make in this, a nutty parm, a balsamic syrup, and a bunch of other go-to things that are just good to have in your pantry or in your fridge. So because this book is entirely whole food plant-based, there's no oil, there's no nothing, chances are, unless I can't find an ingredient in the grocery store or to order, I will be keeping the recipes as is. If you're curious how our rating system works, here's a little graphic on the screen to let you know what the letters mean as we say them throughout the review. And stick around to the end of this video where I'll let you know if I think you should buy, borrow, or bypass this book altogether. And if you want to pick up a copy of this, I have a link in the description down below. Getting it from there helps us out and, you know, it helps them out as well. We are currently on a push to try to get our channel up to 70,000 subscribers by the end of September to make us eligible for some funding that we can use to just do some fun things here on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please do so. Now, before we jump into the recipes, I'd like to give a quick hello to some of you who said hello to us in the comments down below. Beth from Liverpool, New York. Helen from New Zealand. Angela from Holly, Michigan. Angie from Walnut Creek, California. Tracy from Oregon. Susie here from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Chandra and Liam from Melbourne, Australia. Lisa from New Mexico. Cindy from Thompson, Manitoba. Sylvia from Hammonds Plains, Nova Scotia. Sheila from Parma, Idaho. Sue from East Tennessee. Dawn from Columbia, Missouri. Rachel from Duluth, Minnesota. And Irini from, you didn't actually say where you're from, but I know where you're from on the internet, and that is our Mighty Network, which is a group of like-minded individuals who support each other in their plant-based goodness. They get access to these videos early and some other awesome perks. And you can be part of that PB with J 2.0 experience, all for the price of a crappy cup of coffee a month. QR code is on the screen. Let's get to the kitchen. So for a little appetizer, I'm gonna make this green pea broc-amole. The concept behind this is making a guacamole that is lower in calories and lower in fat. I'm not against having a properly fatted avocado, but this might be interesting for some of you. Here's my initial concern about a recipe like this, is just trying to compare it to guacamole is just really setting it up for disappointment for people who really like guacamole. We'll see, but I feel like if you just called this anything else, you'd probably have a better luck. It's in how you brand it, you know what I'm saying? So to start off, we're going to steam peas and broccoli on the stove for just like 6 to 8 minutes. And then you gotta cool completely. You can run them over cold water to cool them. I just left them on the counter because I was doing other stuff. And then by the time I got back to them, they were totally fine. You're gonna put those peas into a food processor and blitz them up until they're nice and smooth. And then you're gonna add everything else and blend that up as well. It says you can put your cilantro on top. I just blended it in. The challenge behind the amount of cilantro I asked for is 2 tablespoons. So if you're the kind of person like me and you just keep herbs around, that's great. But if you have a click and grow garden like we've got, or you just grow your own cilantro in general, it's perfect because you can't get fresher cilantro than literally ripping it off the plant that's still growing. So I'm gonna throw this into a bowl and then we're just gonna serve it with some chips and see what my family thinks.
That's pretty good.
Really?
Tastes like guacamole, but the only problem with it is that it's like, since it has like the broccoli in it, it's like kind of grainy.
The texture, yeah.
So I'll give it like a B.
Just like scoop it.
That's good. It's very like summery and fresh. A B plus. Feel like I like it, but it's like, am I still gonna like it, or am I gonna stop liking it?
Right. To be fair, the avocado I used was kind of small. I think if it was a bigger avocado, it helped, like, I don't love it. It's the peas. Like, all I taste is pea. It's like a C for me. I don't love it. I like the idea. There's something there. I can play with this more, but I don't love it as is. It's a C. Oh, look. The sink's back. Hi, Willie.
A disaster in here.
It's a disaster in here because someone loved you and made dinner for hours.
What the hell? It's fine. I'll give it like a B. I'd eat it again.
Yeah?
Can't really take the broccoli. Just like, doesn't taste like anything that's in here.
So for dinner tonight, we're gonna make this rotini with broccoli and creamy cauliflower sauce. It's fascinating, the kind of noodles they're using, they call rotini, but they call them fusilli. Looks the same to me. So we're gonna start off by steaming some cauliflower because that's gonna make up the basis of our sauce. While that's happening, I would start getting your water boiling because a lot of these things are gonna happen in conjunction with each other. So we're gonna put the cauliflower into our food processor along with our beans, garlic, nutritional yeast, lemon juice, miso paste, basil, oregano, and it calls for soy milk here. I just had the milk we made using our Milky Plant system, which is like a combination of cashew and linseed milk, I believe. That's our go-to blend. It's delicious. Blend that up until it's smooth and well blended. If you can add more milk, if it's too thick, 1 tablespoon at a side. It says to set aside and keep warm. And while that's happening, you're going to cook your pasta according to its directions. And then when there's like 2 minutes left, toss the chopped up broccoli inside of there. Drain the broccoli and the pasta, put it back in the pot and add the cauliflower sauce and toss it gently. And if you have some fresh parsley or fresh basil, you can add that to the top. And then the other thing she suggests you use is this Nutty Parm 2.0, which is also in the book. That recipe is super simple. You just take these 4 ingredients and you put it inside of a food processor and blitz it up until it's nice and powdery like this. It's just to put it inside of a shaker. I'm gonna probably use this in other recipes this week, but it's also just great to have something like this because I can just easily elevate other meals by putting this on top. In fact, I should test it first to make sure it doesn't, you know, sadden my taste buds. Oh, that's so good. That was so simple to make too, and it made so much. That is a good go-to recipe. I like it. Probably hot.
Mushy.
It's really mushy.
Yeah.
The pasta is.
It's everything in there. There's like a pile of mush.
Oh.
What even is it supposed to be?
Creamy.
That is not creamy, that's just mush.
How does it taste? I know, it looks way thicker. Or maybe I put too much sauce in. It says to put the sauce in. It doesn't tell you only put a little bit in.
That's something. I'll give it a C. It's just maybe you accidentally put too much sauce or something in, but
Here, do you want to try a bite of it with the Parmesan?
is this part of the recipe?
Yeah.
It's way better. It's missing the saltiness though.
Mm.
Still, let's see. What's up?
It's not bad. It's just kind of bland. A little bit of pepper might help this. Ooh. Got hit with a lot of garlic. It tastes healthy. It's fine. Like, I'll happily eat it, but I wouldn't make it again. So it's probably a C for me.
What is that?
That's dinner.
That's not what that is.
Tried to clean up as much as I can.
Oh. I'll be making my own dinner tonight. Why is it mushy? But then the pasta noodles are chewy.
So it's a fail?
No, it's a C.
Yeah? Not awful? Well, you're going back for this, eh? Here, you can just have that for dinner.
Okay.
No. It does not look like this picture.
No, not at all. What would you give it?
I think a C.
Yeah. The parm's good, though. The parm keeps it from being an F for me.
Yeah.
For tonight's dinner, we're gonna make this roasted chickpea and kale salad with sweet potatoes and apples. Except it's not gonna be kale because she says to use a mixture of arugula and baby kale. Baby kale is not a thing I could find, but I have this mixture from the store that was baby spinach and arugula, so we're using that instead. Greens, you know, it's fine. So first thing we're gonna do is preheat the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to take some chickpeas. We're gonna pat them dry and put them in the oven. She says to roast them for 20 to 30 minutes. Just toss them every 10 minutes or so until they are the roastedness of your liking. We're gonna chop up a sweet potato, and then we're gonna steam that on top of the oven for, how long did you steam it for, Annie?
10 minutes.
10 minutes Annie steamed it for. Until it's like just soft enough to bite into. Next, we're gonna put our greens into a serving bowl, and we're gonna add the sweet potatoes and set them aside. Next, in a small blender, we're going to combine the vinegar, almond butter, miso paste, and the pepper, and blend until it's nice and smooth. She says then to cut up the apple into 1/4-inch dice, and then transfer to a small bowl and mix it with the salad dressing until the apple pieces are coated. And then add that to the bowl with the kale and the sweet potatoes. And then to add along with the celery, almonds, scallions, and chickpeas. Oh, the one thing I forgot is she says to take some dried barberries and soak them in hot water. We don't have barberries here in Canada that I have ever seen. I don't even know what barberries are, to be honest with you. So what I'm doing instead is substituting goji berries, which she recommends in the cookbook as well. So we're gonna do that. I'm looking forward to this. This is I think this is gonna go over very, very well with Wooly, if not everyone.
How do you put goji berries in here and instead of like cranberries?
They don't really taste like anything.
Yeah, they're just sweet. When they're dried, you don't notice them. And he's complaining about the fact there's goji berries in here.
Disgusting!
Apparently they're disgusting. Is that what you would say if the cookbook author was standing here?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
okay,
you
well,
wouldn't.
that's fair.
She wouldn't.
You don't know what I would have done.
Too shy.
You would say that to us, and then when she got here, you'd be like, it's okay, I don't mind, it's fine.
Actually, I really like goji berries.
I like your hair.
I like it, but it's too vinegary. It's like,
Huh?
yes. I'm gonna put more almond butter in mine. Mix
Yeah.
it around. But I love a
Oh,
salad with
you know what's
lots
funny?
of. You could just cut me off, sure.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
It's because it hit me. I was like, I don't taste the vinegar, and then I swallowed.
Yeah, it hurts my tongue.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I like a salad that's like got lots of stuff in it like this. So I really like it, but I think the ratio of vinegar and almond butter could tip a bit the other way. So I'm gonna get some almond butter, mix it in my salad. Bye.
What'd you give it?
I give it an A.
Yeah, I like the combination of everything in here. This is really simple. It's fast. It's filling enough to be a lunch or a dinner, which is what we're having it for. I would just modify the dressing. I would double up the almond butter probably, but otherwise it's really, really good. I'm gonna give it an A+, but with the dressing modified, it's probably gonna be closer to like an S.
It's okay. I feel like there's too many components to it.
Yeah, what would you take out?
I was just like, kind of gets distracting. Like, there's so many just different flavors.
That's what I like about it. You're a complicated man. Sometimes you like things are too bland, and then sometimes there's too much.
Well, it's not.
You like it right straight down the middle.
Yeah. I like the apple in it.
The apple's nice, right? Yeah. So what would you give it then?
I'll let it be. I don't think it needs more almond butter. I feel like the goji berries aren't really needed.
Fair enough.
You don't really taste like anything.
I think they're meant to add like some sweetness
Oh, they don't. Well, the apple does that.
or health.
It's already pretty healthy.
It's fine. I could make a better salad.
Yeah, what would you do to make it better?
Nuts. No nuts will be allowed on my salad. No goji berries.
Okay.
Everything could stay.
Everything else can stay? What about the dressing?
Dressing can stay.
So that's not bad.
But I'd rather a Greek dressing.
Okay. So then, given that this isn't that bad, what would you give it?
An F.
And what?
I'm just joking. Maybe a B.
Alright.
The texture of the nuts is not okay.
For tonight's dinner, we're having this millet and cauliflower-topped shepherd's pie. The first thing you're probably asking is, why would you mess with potato-topped shepherd's pie? And I don't have the answer to that. But here's a recipe for us to try. And I'm going to be straight up honest. I purposely did this on a night where Annie is away because she doesn't love shepherd's pie to begin with, and there's mushrooms in this. So I just decided let's just set this recipe up for as much success as possible. So this is the kind of recipe that it's going to take up a bit of time and a lot of dishes in your kitchen. So just be ready for that. The first thing you need to do is cook some lentils. I just did mine in the Instant Pot, and the ratio for that is roughly, when I do a cup, it's like a cup to 1 3/4 cup of water to that cup of dried lentils. So for this, they only need a half a cup of dried, so you cut that in half, whatever that math is. But before that, actually, the first thing you need to do is soak your 1 cup of millet for at least 8 hours or overnight. So this takes some prep in addition to all the other stuff you got to do. So after it is soaked, you got to rinse it, and then you're going to add it with some water or broth to a pan and simmer for about 15 minutes. Then you're going to take some cauliflower, but the trick to the cauliflower is first you have to, basically turn it into cauliflower crumbles or cauliflower rice. I just put it into our food processor and did that. But you're going to cook the millet first for 15 minutes, and then you're going to stir in the cauliflower and cook for another 5 to 10 until they're both soft and the water is mostly absorbed. And if there's any water left, just drain off the additional liquid. I didn't have any. Then you're going to add some miso to some warm water and stir that up to make a bit of like a miso paste. Mix that in with some nutritional yeast and onion powder, and then mash it down with a potato masher to get the mixture or the texture that you're looking for. Just do taste seasonings and adjust if needed. I forgot to taste it. I'll taste it when we do the review. For the filling, once your lentils are cooked, you're going to add in some miso and tomato paste and a little bit of water and stir those well, and then just set that aside. In your skillet, you are going to get all of your other vegetables, so your onion, your carrot, your garlic, your mushrooms, corn, and peas, and you are going to cook those for about 5 minutes until they start to soften. Then you're gonna stir in the nutritional yeast, thyme, marjoram, onion powder, and pepper. Then cook until everything is tender, about 10 minutes or so. And then you're gonna mix in the lentils with the vegetables and taste to adjust the seasonings, which I tasted them and it tasted pretty good. It's got a miso vibe though. So if you're into it, you're gonna like it. And if you're not, yeah, you probably won't. I should also have said that you should have preheated your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit because now you're going to spread that vegetable lentil mixture over the bottom of a 9 by 13 inch casserole dish. And then you're gonna spread the cauliflower millet on top and then sprinkle it with some smoked paprika and bake it uncovered for 30 minutes. Serve hot.
I like it. But I would like maybe try to blend it longer so it's less grainy and more smooth.
They just tell you to mash it with a potato masher. I would put it in a food processor.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
Because the flavor is actually nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind. And if you mix it all up, it's okay. Like I grew up, in my house growing up, like traditional shepherd's pie, we put ketchup on it after. And I might still, but I don't think it needs it.
I don't need ketchup.
I wouldn't make this every day, but it didn't take that long. It wasn't crazy. Yeah, because of it's not complicated, but just time consuming. I wouldn't give it an S. It's just, I wouldn't make this often. Flavor wise, it's great. It's up there with our shepherd's pie. And it's nut free. So that's helpful too. Willie can take it to school.
Yes, I can.
It's an A.
There's too much. This isn't even potato. It's just like.
Not
There's no potato in there. I didn't even. You know what? Try it before you judge it.
It smells like peaches. It's so hot. Oh my god. It's pretty good, but I'd rather potato than rice.
It's not rice.
Cauliflower.
And millet.
Yeah, flavor's good, but like everyone likes potato.
I know. I don't see the benefit.
It's the best vegetable in the world.
It's a perfect vegetable.
Most versatile.
Yeah.
I'll give it an A, but if it had potato, it'd be nice.
For our dessert tonight, I'm going to make this banana-walnut cake with blackberry-almond butter sauce. Except blackberries aren't in season right now, and I couldn't find any at our market, so I'm just going to use frozen berries. It's like a mixed blend. There might be some blackberries in there, but it won't be all blackberries. I guess, how much does it need? I guess I could pick them out. Let's see how I'm feeling later. So to make this recipe, we also have to make the date syrup 2.0 that's in this book, which I wanted to make anyway, and I think I need it for another recipe later on. My go-to like date paste date syrup that I've been using was from Chef AJ's last book, Sweet Indulgence. This one rivals that for simplicity, so I just soaked a cup of dates in hot water, like a cup of dates and a cup and a quarter of hot water for a long time, because I was going to make this yesterday and I didn't. So they're soaked overnight. You don't have to do that. 1 hour is enough. Put it in a blender with like a teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. Let it whir for a long time until it's really, really well blended. And then put it into like a small mason jar. Boom. So simple. That date syrup is like a caramel sauce. It's delicious and simple, and you should keep it in your fridge all the time. Speaking of simple, I'm going to show you the really lazy way I'm going to make this cake that is going to probably save you a little bit of extra cleanup. So the first thing you need to do is just get everything ready. So make your flax egg, which is just putting your flax with some water. This is essentially replacing an egg for those that don't know. Chop up your walnuts, get everything else ready. I'm going to do this all in the food processor. She says to mash up the banana in a bowl and mix everything together. I just find it's gonna mash best in the food processor. So I'm putting all the wet ingredients in the food processor. I'm gonna blend those up until they're nice and combined. And then I'm gonna add in our dry ingredients, except for the walnuts. Blend that up, and then we're going to take the S-plate out of the food processor, scrape off all the good bits, and then we're gonna fold in the walnuts. I should have mentioned this before, but you should be preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You're gonna have an 8x8 baking dish out. I used to use silicone, but I find things just don't bake as well as they do against metal. So I just used parchment. And if you've watched this channel before, I like to crumple it up so that way the parchment molds into the pan nicely. Pour it all out, spread it around, put it in the oven for 30 minutes until it's lightly browned on top. And then we're going to let it cool completely. Once it's cool, we're gonna flip it over onto a plate, and then we're gonna cut it into squares. And then we're gonna make the Blackberry-Almond Butter Sauce, which is just in a blender or a food processor, combining all of the ingredients until it is smooth. She says you can use it as is or to cover it and refrigerate until needed. She says the sauce may thicken after sitting for a while, so I'm just gonna make it right before I eat this.
It's kind of like grainy in a weird way, but not.
There's walnut in it.
I don't know. The sauce is good. I don't know about the brownie part or whatever that is.
The sauce is great.
I really like the sauce.
Cake.
Hmm.
Banana walnut
Cake.
cake.
It's a bit.
I don't really like the cake. It's a little like mushy.
It's a little mushy.
I'll give it like a B, but the sauce is like an A.
Yeah. I think I'm the same. The cake just didn't. I cooked it long enough. Why are you going on that side when this side is? Come over here. Come
What do
over
you
here.
mean?
Right here. See this? Willie didn't go to film school.
I like the flavor of the cake.
Yeah. Well, it tastes like it's banana bread essentially, right?
It's good. I like it.
The texture is off. The sauce is really good.
I like it.
It's like a. The sauce makes it an A. But the cake is like a B.
I like the cake.
I don't mind it. It doesn't taste bad. I just wouldn't make it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather just make our banana bread.
I like it. I have an A. I like it.
All right. Have for breakfast. It's all yours. Take it, Wooly. For breakfast, I'm going to make this banana almond French toast with blueberries. It's just Ify and I having breakfast this morning because Annie's on a school trip and Willie's already at work. I've made a few different French toasts over the years, whole food plant-based, and usually it has some flax. I don't think I've ever put almond butter in it, so this is different for me for sure. And I'm making just half the recipe, so just in case you're wondering why the numbers on the screen and what I'm putting in doesn't match. So you put the bananas, almond butter, soy milk. I'm actually using like a combination of pumpkin milk, cashew milk. I think that's what I made in our milky plant. With some vanilla and cinnamon. You blend that all up. And then you pour it into a shallow bowl. Get your frying pan going. Dip the bread into it. And then pop it onto the frying pan for 3 minutes on each side. Now it doesn't quite look like it looks in the photo here. It coats more, but I'm not worried about the looks. I just want it to taste good. And then to serve it, they suggest the date syrup that we already made, but I've got some of that blueberry almond syrup left, and I just want to use that. Even though I halved the liquid mixture, I think this at least will make 6 slices. So that's good to know. You could either have more for later, or you could reduce it even further. I mean, it doesn't have an eggy vibe, which I'm fine with. Very banana forward, which I like, but might not be for everyone. It's nice, and it was really simple. That's the main thing for breakfast, right? Simple. Berries on it, and some banana slices too. I'll give my final thoughts after Ephraim, because he's got to go to school. And I just got to sit here and make videos for you all day.
I just taste like the bread.
You don't taste like the banana and stuff?
A little bit.
A little bit of cinnamon in there?
Yeah. I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah?
It's like a B.
Yeah?
A little burnt.
Yeah. It does not look like the photo looked. I would also say it's kind of like it's like a B plus to an A for me. It's not bad. It's just not something I would make. Yeah, it kind of didn't cook through the middle, but it's not. It's fine. I'm worried about it because I know it's not egg. It looks like a bread pudding texture. It's okay. It's not bad. I just wouldn't make it again. So what were our final thoughts on How Not to Age? Book by Greger, Dr. Michael Greger that is, and recipes by Robin Robertson. You know what? It was an interesting thing, this book. it kind of ended up being a bit of a mixed bag, if I'm being completely honest with you. For us, when a recipe hit in here, it hit really, really well. And when it missed, it missed. So this one is going to be kind of down the middle. And my recommendation for this is going to be based on where you are in your plant-based journey. I think if you're someone who is coming into this who is new and really just wants to reset the palate and learn some healthy ways to eat some of your favorite meals, this is probably a good starter guide. And if you're someone who is especially coming into this way of eating later on in life and you really want to maximize your longevity and learn about that, that book is probably ideal for you as well. I think the people who might struggle with this are people who are a bit more foodies, if that makes sense. It's not that the food in here is bland. I just think it's a bit simple. And simple is not even the word. I'm having a hard time with this one because there's so much about it I like it. There's recipes in here that we didn't try that look really, really interesting. But I also know that, like, just for me anyway, and our family, I know that this is the kind of book that I think our kids are not going to vibe on. So if you're feeding for an entire family, it might be more challenging, right? If you're someone who is single or it's just you and your spouse in the house right now, it might be an easier sell for you as well. I'm curious what others think about this book because this one was tough for me. I don't know exactly how to label this one compared to other ones we've done in the past. So I'd really love to know what all of you thought. I think it's definitely a borrow no matter who you are. Read the information at the front. It's really, really great. And it might lead you to reading the bigger book, which is a fantastic read. A little bit nerdy, but really, really awesome. And then it might be worth trying out some of the recipes to see if you think it's worth purchasing for yourself. So that's where I'm going to land. It's a very solid borrow with a buy for some very specific people or very generically vague people. I don't know. I probably need another coffee. So that's where I'm ultimately going to land. I'm going to say it's a very, very strong borrow for, if nothing else, the information in the book. And then check out some of the recipes, give 5 or 6 of them a shot and see what you think. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to let YouTube know to share it with other people. Hit subscribe to help us get to that 70,000 subscriber count by the end of September. And if you got a few extra minutes and you want to stick around and binge a little bit longer, YouTube has this video all ready for you to go for your viewing pleasure. See you in the next one.